All right, greetings everybody. This is going to be part 2 of our series in reading Byzantine Greek. So if you watched the first video and you were interested in continuing on, basically we're going through the book of Revelation in Greek, and I'm using a Greek text from the 1500s. And we're just going to go through the Greek text, we're going to read it, kind of translate our way through it, and then based on that, you'll be able to see how the Greek characters were written back in the Byzantine time period, but it has a lot of carryover if you are interested in looking at biblical manuscripts, things of the New Testament. If you've ever looked at those and examined them, and it looks way different from whatever your Greek New Testament edition is, it's very difficult to read. So the only way to learn how to read it is to basically go through it and just by experience, you'll know how these characters are written. So with that, I have here, I've got a number of different windows set up, but we'll pick up where we left off last. So I got to make sure I put my mouse on the right screen if I'm pointing out something. So, so we're going to start here at Makarios. So the first part of the letters written on the right-hand side of your screen, Ma. And then you have Karios here, Makarios. So there's a couple ligatures here. So you've got the kappa and the alpha, which is not too difficult. But then the rho and then iota are combined in this word. So Makarios. O anaginoskon. So let me show you exactly what's going on with that word there. So this one is the tricky part. So you see the alpha, and then you see what is a nu. So the mu, the M kind of a sound, gets that kind of a shape, and even in our modern Greek editions, it'll be written kind of like that. But the nu is normally written like that. So whenever you see ana, a lot of times when it comes right after a vowel, they will make the nu. So mu would be like this, and a nu would be like this. And so you know which of these two letters is that way based on whether or not it has this second tail. And so that's why it kind of looks a little different. So they connected the alpha to that beginning tail here, and then they just continued it up and did that. But that would be very difficult to decipher what letter that would be if you hadn't seen this style Greek before. So let me actually just erase this and then show the other part. So you've got ginoskon. So your gamma and your iota are combined, and then you have a normal nu, and then you have omega. Normally looks kind of like a little W, and then skon. So you've got your kappa and your sigma are combined, another omega, and then it ends with a normal nu. But this at the beginning will be something that you'll see a lot. So like the word anthropos would be a very common word that you'll see, and a lot of times it'll be written with an, will look like that. So let's keep going here. So Makarios. So Makarios o anaginoskon, he who reads, and they who hear. So the hearing, and they who hear, tus logos tis prophetias. So right away, this does not look like the kai or ke that you would normally see written out. A lot of times they would just use a symbol. So in a the printing press, they will have all these different characters in a way to save room. Part of it is to match handwriting. Handwriting at this time period looked very similar to what you're looking at here. And so you would have, just for spatial efficiency, they just have a symbol for the word and so it looks like that. And then this one, this is actually two letters that are combined into one symbol. So it's omicron iota. So a lot of times your K will be some kind of a, like that, or I guess that would be a straight line like that. And then your what would normally be, so this equals chi. But what would normally be your Omicron iota is written like this. Like this. Oh, I need to draw it bigger. So your Omicron would wrap around and in the middle, and then you'd have your iota. But that is, what that is just this. So you'll recognize that word as your masculine plural article. So the. And then we have, if we pick up back where we left off, so you've got your kappa, e or oi would be the Erasmian pronunciation of that. And then you have akuodes, which is, that's pretty much written where you can read that. And then tous. So let's go here, tous logos. So what they've done, obviously you've got your tau, and then tous. They've kind of made a little sigma on the bottom of this. A lot of times tu would be written like that without this extra sigma part. But tous, this is t, tau, omicron, upsilon, and then sigma, all combined. But tous and then logos kind of has a similar thing, but this would be sigma, like that. And then logos. So you've got your lambda, which combines with your omicron, and then you've got your upsilon combined with your sigma at the end of the word logos, the word words. So that is the same thing as like that. And then you have tis prophetias. So let's go back here. So we've got tus logos and then tis prophetias. So the prophecy. So tis is kind of written like that. And then prophetias. Tus logos, tis prophetias. So the one who reads and those who hear. Back in the original early days of the church, everyone didn't have a Bible with them. So you'd have one person reading it, and then they are orally reading it to an audience of people who would listen. So you would have the scriptures being read orally, read aloud to the churches in that time. So blessed is the one who reads and those, plural, who hear. That was just an interesting thing I saw, that this is singular and this is plural, which is pretty cool. The words of the prophecy. And then let's look at how the pi is written in this word here. So here's your pi, rho, and then omicron. But this at the beginning here is what would normally throw you off. They've combined all three of these letters into one character for the typesetter. So you've got this kind of thing going on. It kind of loops around. That's how they would write it. Pro. So that would be like pi, rho, omicron. That's a very common ligature. Actually, I like the way it looks. It's kind of cool looking. And then ke, they actually wrote out the word chi here. Tirudes. So here's another one that might throw you off. Just because here is the nu, the N sound, and it's combined with an upsilon. So you've got this kind of a W with three loops down it. This is actually a upsilon here, and then it's connected to a ni or nu. So back in the very beginning of the video, the nu was written like that. But in this case, the nu is going to be written when it's connected to an upsilon. The tail here is going to wrap around and be like a W almost. So the upsilon finishes like this. But here's the upsilon here. And this whole thing from this tail here through this loop to the end, that's the nu. So that equals like that. Let's keep going here. So you've got ta en afti. Ta en afti. Okay, so start with this ta. So you got this big tau, and then it comes in and wraps around to your alpha ta, which means those things, those things plural. So the first row, this is ta, but then you've got en, which is just written like this, and it is an epsilon nu. So you've got the nu here, which is like the V shape, and then your epsilon. A lot of times we saw in the first video, probably saw the same exact character. You just have this one curl that goes into that word. So whenever you see that, you would just know that's en, and then afti. Like that. So this is an eta. Here's alpha and then upsilon. So they're just connected up together. And then we have the word gegramena, which means written. Something that's been written. These things which are written. Oh, the things that are written in it is what it would mean. Now, gegramena is not that difficult to read. Notice you do have the gamma and the rho combined. So you've got that. So that is just a gamma and then a rho. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, okay. So we'll terminate the video here. Well, not here. We'll finish out this sentence, and then part 3 we'll keep going. But we're gonna see hogar keros engis. This one is kind of strange looking. So what is that? It's gamma, alpha, and then a rho. So that's the word that you would start a sentence for this, or for God so loved the world, that kind of thing. For, it would be the word God. So that is it's written like this. What that is equal to is that. They just combined all 3 letters and had it kind of fancy looking. Hogar keros engis. Engis is the last one. So we actually saw something similar to this in the first video, engis. But this is epsilon, gamma, gamma, upsilon, and then sigma. So just like what we've seen already, it's what that is gamma, gamma, upsilon, and then sigma. So that's engis shortly. But we'll pick up here. I'll make another video, but just chunk by chunk, the more you go through the book of Revelation or whatever that you're reading, the more natural it is that you read it. So with that, that's basically what this video is going to be about. Hopefully we'll continue on with this series. I know some people have requested, because there's really nothing like this on YouTube. Well, not a lot of this on YouTube, at least. And I think for people who are trying to get into learning the language, it can be helpful to have someone just point these things out to you. I mean, if you're trying to do it on your own, then you're having to compare it back and forth with a Greek text that you can actually read. You know, it just takes some time. But having someone that can actually show you that can go a long way to helping you understand what you're looking at. So with that, feel free to like the video if you enjoyed that. The channel is very slowly growing. Everyone who watches videos, I do appreciate. But with that, I will say goodbye, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.